evening. Welcome to the August 23rd, 2016 meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends newspaper, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Mrs. Florence Lynch? Here. Mr. Phelan?
Here.
Mr. Vanderhoff?
Here.
Ms. Winterfield?
Here.
Mayor Cole?
Here. Next on the agenda is presentations. We have a presentation on ovarian cancer awareness brought to us by Lauren Syansky. And Councilwoman Lynch is going to present read the proclamation.
Want me to read it from here?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Anybody else want to come? Why doesn't everybody else come down?
I thought we'd come down for pictures.
Okay, I'll take the proclamation. And then they can come down.
Lauren, you can come on up and stand next to Melissa.
Yeah, please do. I wanted to read this proclamation. Whereas ovarian cancer is a type of cancer in which, depending on the type and stage of the disease, cancer cells are found near, inside, or on the outer layer of the ovaries. And whereas ovarian cancer is commonly undetected until it has spread into the pelvis and stomach. This is because in the earlier stages of this disease, no symptoms occur. If not detected at an early stage, ovarian cancer is more difficult to treat and can be fatal. And whereas ovarian cancer accounts for about 3% of cancers among females, but it causes more deaths than any other cancer of the female reproductive system. And whereas every woman is at a risk for ovarian cancer, but it may be higher for those with a family history of breast, ovarian, or colon cancer, genetic predisposition, increasing age or infertility, or reproductive issues. And whereas organizations like Turn the Towns Teal, by enlisting volunteers to post ribbons, posters, and distribute symptom cards, promote awareness of the disease and its symptoms in an effort to encourage an earlier diagnosis to lead to a better prognosis. Now therefore, on behalf of the Township of Pequannock and its residents, Mayor David Cole and the members of the Township Council do hereby proclaim September 2016 as Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in the Township of Pequannock, and encourage all residents and employees to become further educated about ovarian cancer, as well as contribute in helping to raise awareness for the disease. So it's wonderful what you're doing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the project and how you got involved in it?
Well, I'm just doing it for my social work for Girl Scouts, and my mom is an ovarian cancer survivor. So I thought that I would try my best to learn more about it and spread awareness. And yeah, I thought it would be good to teach people in our community more about it.
Well, it sure is. So we want to congratulate you for your efforts and educating the community. I think that's wonderful. So congratulations. And we thank you for your doing this project and spreading the word. Why doesn't everybody come down? Because we want to take pictures with the mayor. The mayor just asked me to read the proclamation, but he's actually going to come down, and the rest of the council should congratulate as well.
And our town reporter Gene is here, so he can get the picture.
He's got his camera.
He's already.
We'll start over there.
Everybody here? We're ready, Jean. Got it.
Great. Thank you very much for all your hard work for that.
Congratulations. And keep spreading the word and keep up the good work. With all your other girls together. Oh, do we have a, over here? Oh, there it is.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get the other one.
Okay. Next on the agenda is reports from volunteers. At this time, are there any reports or comments from any of our volunteers serving our community? Frank? No? Okay. Next on the agenda is public comment. The next public comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes. An additional period for public comment is reserved later in the meeting. Individuals are requested to limit their questions and comments to 3 minutes. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized, come to the microphone, provide your name and address for the record. Go ahead, Frank.
This is Jerry, 35 West Franklin Avenue. Clark, New Jersey. The reason I'm here is, I don't know if you guys read the article, but the title of the community is Pequannock.
Frank, can you speak up because some of the people in there, oh, it's not on.
Is the light on?
The light's on.
I think we need a microphone.
Frank, your 3 minutes are up.
It's still not on. But anyway, the artist says, the title says, Season's Second Drowning, Unsettled Residents, under the title of Pequannock. So I think they weren't both in Pequannock, as a matter of fact.
Both drownings were not in Pequannock. One was in Wayne and one was in Pequannock. But the title on the thing is, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Why would they put something like that in the paper to say that it's in Pequannock? Anybody got an answer for that? Because,
We do.
I think that the title on the article indicates that we had 2 drownings in our town, which we do not.
Well, we actually did. We refer to it as staff as Pequannock Township. I can't help what.
Well, I'm not debating the Pequannock or Buncombe
Pequannock.
Plains issue. That's not.
Papers, it's not one.
Our township is Pequannock Township.
That's correct.
But in a very bizarre twist of events, there were 2 drownings. They were completely unrelated in 2 separate locations under very different circumstances.
In Pequannock Township?
Yes.
Yes, that place they're referring to is in Pequannock Township. It's not in Wayne.
Okay.
That was a
I
mistake.
don't know
I
about
saw
the
that in
second
the
one. I knew
paper
the
as
first
well.
one, but,
No,
I didn't know we had.
The second one was
At
at
Best Western.
Oh, the guy in the, yeah.
You're right.
Okay, I'll take it back. I guess they were right.
Hey, we got the mic horses.
No, it's my line.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Oh, that's all right.
You don't use it anyway.
there you go.
Are there any other comments from the public?
And I won't need that mic.
You're gonna have to watch it because it's
That's all right.
spectacular.
Hi, Dana Whitsack, 6 Bryan Court, Pequannock. I'm here about the garbage company. I put in a call today to Mr. Holberg's office. I'm sure he got the message. Today, when our garbage was being picked up on Bryan Court, across the street, my neighbor had moved, cleaned out everything. The whole curb was full of garbage. And I did notice 4 or 5 fluorescent light bulbs standing up out of the trash. And I don't understand why he put them out, because those are not garbage collectible, but I don't understand why the garbage people took them. And not only did they take them, but all of the fluorescent bulbs broke in front of my driveway. And I had a little, I should have brought it with me. I mean, now I have fluorescent glass all over my house. They were in a bag. I'm out there sweeping it up, and this isn't just about the fluorescent bulbs today. This is about the garbage company, period. I've had my recycling buckets or things thrown away without, notes being on them to be thrown away. I've had lids disappear. I've come home in snowstorms with that one snowstorm, the garbage can was up on top of the mountain. I actually had to go around it to go and pull it back down. All this for $100 a year, seriously. We pay what, $100 a quarter? We were paying $125. I've called and complained. I call and call and call. I get Tony on the phone at the disposal company. He don't care. He just listens to me and hangs up. That's it. We're done. Nothing's getting done. So I'm here tonight. Hopefully, town council can address this and get this problem fixed. This isn't the first time with the garbage that I've had to clean up in front of my house. Not even my garbage. Okay, but the glass really upset me the most, the fluorescent glass, because there's kids on my block that ride their bikes. What happens if they fall, if I didn't clean it up? And I don't believe that the garbage trucks don't have brooms and, shovels on them, that they could clean this mess up. They just drive, and they even drove over the darn things at the end with the prongs in them. They're all flat. So I've got like 7 or 8 of those in a bag with a lot of glass. Just asking maybe somebody can look into this and maybe we can get a new company when this contract expires, or negotiate a better deal and save us even more money if we're going to be cleaning up our own garbage all the time.
Unfortunately, the town goes out to bid on that contract, and whoever is the lowest bid, as long as it's a complete bid, wins the award.
Does it always have to be the lowest? Because sometimes you just get what you pay for.
Unfortunately, that's government. And if I'm not mistaken, Gata was the only one that put a bid in this year. So we didn't even have any other company bid except for the current garbage company that we have. I'm sure Dave will...
Can we seek out other companies? I mean, I understand the garbage thing more than probably most people, because when you look into things, you'll learn a lot of stuff that you really don't need to know. Like I know that transferring fees and stuff will play a part in it. Certain dumps won't take garbage, like fluorescent bulbs, so they should have just left those bulbs.
Absolutely.
I mean, we can't reach out to other companies?
Well, the bid process is highly regulated, and it's even more highly regulated in the garbage industry. The rules and process that we have to go through are meticulous, and it has many drawbacks. As local government, we would love an opportunity to choose one of the 3 lowest bidders if the state provided that. We don't have that. We are stuck with the lowest bidder, whether it be garbage or sidewalks or paving or sewers or whatever. And it causes multiple headaches in just about everything we do. We could probably avoid a lot of headaches if we didn't have to go with lowest bidder, but the people in Trenton have decided that is the best way to be economical with your tax dollars, so that's what we're stuck with.
I mean, I get that sometimes, it's just better to take the next price and you might get a better deal. Okay, now we're with this contract, with the lowest bid.
For the next
what kind of
4 years?
what kind of leverage do we have on them now? I mean, it sounds like we're stuck with them. We don't have, you can't, I don't want to use the word threaten, but somebody has to be in charge there and be aware of what is happening. And I'm sure it's not just Pequannock. I'm sure it's other towns that they're contracted through as well. But somebody's got to be able to go to them and say, listen, this has got to stop. My residents are, this is crazy for $100 a year.
I mean, there is a process in place, and I know you've used it. The garbage company itself has a supervisor who's supposed to be in town on collection days, making sure that service issues are addressed. The vast majority of our service issues are related to no service rather than picking up something they shouldn't have. Matter of fact, we get a whole lot more calls about they didn't pick up something I put to the curb rather than they picked up something. the reality is that, you know, the lowest bidder is hiring people on the trucks who are earning a daily wage, and they're not there really to make determinations about the ethics of whether they should be picking something up. They're there to collect their paycheck. There is a supervisor from the company who's supposed to be here on collection days. We have our staff, and we do periodically, you know, do spot checks. We follow them. We even go out and we check garbage containers to make sure recycling is in recycling containers and garbage containers. We will put stickers on containers that have incorrect material. We don't do that every single day, but we do it randomly throughout the year to try and make sure that, you know, we've got compliance from the other part of it, because that's where most of the issues relate from, is people not putting the correct things in, you know, at the curb. When there are service issues, the process that we have set up is to call our health department, which tracks the complaints, and we encourage people to call, because it's the number of complaints that we have that will eventually cause us to, you know, take an action, file a formal complaint against the company for doing something improperly. You know, we have 4,000 residents, each one being served twice a week. I mean, that's thousands and thousands of services, you know. So we track things based on a number per 100 or a number per 1,000 of, you know, complaints per 1,000 pickups. You know, 2 misses in 8,000 pickups is, you know, a relatively small amount. When they start exceeding a, you know, 4 or 5% threshold, we call the president of the company in and we say, what's going on? We have done that in the past. So there is a process, but it's important that people, you know, follow the protocol and call, because if we can't track it, we can't, you know, document it and formalize a complaint.
Well, I called your office this morning because I have not.
Yes, and I
in the
can
past.
get your message.
But again, these were fluorescent bulbs. They're, what are they, 3-4 feet, clearly sticking out. I mean, they should have just left them. You know, if it was something that was hidden in a bag or a box and they didn't notice it, or something, and then for them to all end up on my drive, you know, at the end of my driveway, and I'm out there cleaning it up now. Now I have their garbage again. You know, it's so okay. So I think that complaint is a little bit more important than somebody missing a can on a street. You know, that's, again, kids riding their bikes. What if they fall down? Dogs walking on the street, you know, into their paws. It's...
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the broken glass, the containers that end up, you know, 3 houses down, things like that. It's important that we be able to document that, you know, one incident is not something we're going to be able to go back to the president of the company and say, yeah, you really screwed up here. If they do it 20 times over the course of a week, then we can, you know, formalize a complaint through the process. And if there are enough formal complaints, then we do have the teeth in the next bidding round through a process of prior negative experience to say, we don't want this bidder because they screwed up this many times.
Okay.
But it all goes back to having the documentation and, you know, us following up with the formal complaints. And we've done that in the past, but only when we have, you know, enough information to be able to do it.
Okay. So do you get enough complaints for something like that, or do I need to get the word out to tell my neighbors, even if it's a trivial thing? If you call and document it, obviously
Yes.
you're keeping track.
Call and
I'll get it out
document. There is no unimportant complaint because it adds up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? There being no additional public comment, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. And that's public hearing. There are no scheduled public hearings for tonight. Next on the agenda is ordinances for introduction. Ms. Marsh.
This is ordinance number 2016-12, an ordinance creating a new Chapter 67 entitled Chickens, establishing standards for keeping chickens, and amending Chapter 189 entitled Zoning.
Mr. Holberg, any comments on this?
I have no comments whatsoever.
Are there any comments from council?
I was just gonna say, we vetted this through chicken owners and experts and stuff like that, so we came up with our best,
I believe this represents all the feedback.
right,
Plus, you know, we've had, you know, Jill's looked at it, we've removed the component from zoning, we modified zoning so that the farm component is still there.
right.
You know, Bob's looked at it, Peter's looked at it, so this is where we're at. If we've got more adjustments,
Well, do we think it's
say it
enough?
now.
Do we think it's enough chickens? It's 10.
Internally,
Yeah.
10 was the high side of what we were
Okay.
comfortable with.
Okay.
I think 10 seems reasonable. The only thing, and I don't know because I'm not a chicken owner, but the only thing I noticed is when it talked about one coop per residential lot, there's no reason why you would want to split them in two different coops, right? That's the, I don't know, like if,
No.
no, okay.
It's a coop with
Right.
nesting boxes
Right.
and a spot for them
Right.
to
So it's better just
spread
to
their
have
wings.
one. Okay, we're good.
All right. Is there a motion to introduce this ordinance on first reading?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 2016-12.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Florence Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Cole.
Yes. Next on the agenda is items for resolution. Ms. Marsh?
Begin with Resolution 2016-151, authorizing release of designated escrow deposits. R 2016-152, authorizing release of the designated performance guarantee. 2016-153, accepting a conveyance in connection with the village area sewer project. And 2016-154, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth in the August 19th, 2016 bill list.
Are there any comments on the resolutions from council?
I'm good.
No?
I'm good.
You guys are good? Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2016-151 through 154.
Is there a second? I'll second. Roll call?
Mrs. Florence Lynch,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Cole.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is items for discussion, and there are no items for discussions this evening. Next on the agenda is reports and notices. Are there any comments or questions from council? No? Managers report, Mr. Holberg.
Okay, using a negotiated sale process, bond pricing was completed on August 11th for our refunding of the 2017 sewer bonds. A net present value savings of $230,000, or about 6% of the total value of the bonds, was achieved. Savings was more than originally anticipated as a result of further reductions in municipal bond market rates. Budgetary savings of over $290,000 will be realized between 2018 and 2023. The Boulevard Sidewalk project is nearing completion. Council members are reminded to complete the sidewalk replacement priority sheets that were distributed a few weeks ago if you haven't already. An update for the village area curb project is attached on the back of the report. Will be made available electronically and distributed to area residents. Additionally, road reclamation will begin tomorrow on Voorhees Place. That process will continue for the next couple of weeks. Curbing is essentially done through the village area and starting on Greendale and Winding Way. Should take a couple more weeks. Hopefully we've timed this correctly for the reclamation to follow immediately behind the curb replacement. And then we'll finish up with the final surface course of resurfacing probably in October.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is council reports and announcements. Councilwoman Florence Lynch.
Well, I have as a reminder that we have our Economic Development Committee meeting tomorrow, and I was just given the okay. We're going to invite a couple of the EDC members along with us when we go do our tour for business development. That's it.
Councilman Phelan.
The only thing I have is watching the news on Louisiana with the flooding certainly reminds all of us that this is a flooding zone too. Please never forget it. progress in stopping any flooding in the entire Passaic River Basin area. Just a reminder, one day.
All right, Councilman Vanderhoff.
Okay. As we've been working on the manager's review, I've developed a list. Mine is for projects rather than operation, and I'll pass it out for your review and maybe incorporate what you want to incorporate.
We'll get one today.
That's fine.
You wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it? Okay.
All right,
So
that's it.
that's it.
All right, Councilwoman Winterfield.
No, I don't have anything to report, but I do have a question for Dave about the construction by the high school.
Yes.
Will that be done before school? I see that was left off the report.
Define done.
At least it's so they can walk.
The paving, well, the sidewalks on the school side are complete already. The paving is scheduled for next week, so milling and paving next week. We've altered the time frame a little bit. He's gonna finish with sidewalks on the westbound side. And so there may be some touch-up items that continue to occur after the opening of school, but
Do we
it'll
have a
be
contingency?
90% complete.
Do we have like a contingency plan if we don't, just so if there's like traffic, keep walking through there or
We
something?
do have a contingency plan, but it's not
Okay,
there are no good options, so
okay.
we're hoping for good weather next week, and the road is going to be completely closed at times next week while they're doing milling and resurface.
Well, I'd rather be before school starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks.
Dave, if we're doing repairs and cleanup after school's open, can we get them to do a 9 o'clock start time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be after school.
The only thing I really have is there is a fair housing meeting tomorrow night at 7. We haven't had one in the last couple months, so that will be our first one. Next on the agenda is public comment again. Public comment, if anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized. Come to the microphone, provide your name and address for the record. Sharon?
Nope.
I didn't realize you guys finished so early tonight. Past few meetings, I'm like shocked.
Next on the agenda are there minutes. There are minutes, August 9th, 2016. Are there any comments on these minutes?
No, I read them, they were good.
Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for August 9th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. There's nothing for closed session tonight, Dave?
There is nothing for closed. Before we, let me just follow up with September 10th.
Okay.
Is 9 o'clock good for everyone? So we can
5 hours
advertise
from
that?
Yes.
Plan on about 3 hours, 9 to noon. We've got 4 locations, unless there's other locations. We're going to do Haskell and Wanacue, downtown Butler, Sawaco, and Morristown. And we'll kind of finish up in Morristown. So if there's anything else that you want to include there, we'll spend about 15-20 minutes in each location. We'll get out, walk around, hopefully take some notes and get a feel for what you like and don't like.
All right, I have my EDC tomorrow, so if they come up with any other location, I'll let you know otherwise.
Okay, and we would start here at 9,
Okay.
all right?
Anything else? There being no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.